I have been watching you. You have to remember.
Ghost in the Shell is a unique, original, mind-blowing visual experience with high-paced, visceral action. And at the lead, and on the journey of trying to find this villain, she ends up finding out who she is. I saw it first when I was at art school. I was given a dusty VHS and told this will blow your mind, and it did, and it stayed with me to this, all those years. And then, I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to talk to Steven Spielberg and Avi Arad about, my take on the film, if I were to do it. And I said, really, I'd want to return it back more to the original. That's where I felt the resonance most. Why? Because I think that the original worked amazingly well in the anime. When were you to take that story straight to cinema, I think it would be difficult. I think the philosophy and the themes are very much on the surface, and the plot is very far down. And I think with anime that works because they can be very slow and kind of mysterious, whereas if you're doing a big budget cinematic film, you need to lead with a plot that people can grab onto, and then the philosophical ideas can percolate up rather than the other way around. I think, it's kind of similar to the last answer, is that things work well in anime that don't necessarily work well on screen. So, you have to find a way of making it look and feel like an anime, but still being cinematic, that people who didn't know anime wouldn't not understand how to get into the film. And I think, in a way with some superhero movies, they found clever ways of taking some of those elements and making them work with film. And then there are other superhero movies that didn't do it so well, and you can really tell, and so it's, when you look at different versions of Batman, you'll see very varying versions of how they made it work and how not. And I think that's what kind of I tried to do, was take a film noir story and create a kind of surreal sci-fi landscape with very real characters and very real dilemmas and conflicts, and really make it a cinematic experience rather than an animated experience. I love them both, and I think that was really, like you said, I mixed both, and I used standalone complex. The first thing I did was I screen grabbed all three films, and I put them up in my room, and just kind of things stayed on the wall that I really had to have in the film, that I felt as a fan of the franchise I had to see, Batu's dog, or the machine gun briefcases, or the rooftop jump, the fish tank walls, the robot geisha, the exploding heads of the gate. Those things were like, I have to have those, and then I just tried to kind of work the story through it. Yeah. It wasn't like a specific, here's your thing, go and do it. Scarlett came on board early and partnered with me really to create the androids have failed because you don't have empathy with them. And we needed to create a way into her character to understand, what her conflict was. If, like you say, she's just kind of not there, it doesn't make for very good cinema.
When you're going to school, you're a teenager, you're in this who am I, what do I want, and all that stuff. So it kind of made sense. I kind of connected a little bit more with the major than I did with Bateau. And when I got the job, I was still connecting more with the major than I was with Bateau. So I had to go back and I had to go back to the Bible. I had to go back to Shiro's manga and find the character that I wanted to portray and how I wanted to portray him. Of course, we cheated a little bit. I'm not going to sit and lie. But every single day for 5 hours, every single day from when I got the role until we started shooting. The only thing that really, sorry I'm saying it, fucked me up was that I couldn't eat a cheeseburger or I couldn't eat pizza. I was eating chicken and fish and steak, chicken and fish and vegetables for breakfast, dinner and lunch. And it just, I hated it. The prosthetic eyes were very difficult for 2 reasons. One, I had to be in makeup for 4 hours before we would start a 12-hour shooting day. Secondly, I couldn't see anything. It almost became like kabuki theater. It almost became very stylistic and very controlled and very like, I'm looking at you, I'm looking down. And that was also how Bateau was in the anime. I would say that he's the most human heart. He's the most human being in all of them. Also in Shiro's. But I would definitely say in Oshi's, Bateau is the heart, but that's what I wanted to go for. For me, it was so important that you had the inspiration of the original manga and the anime. And if I could fuse those two like this and then create my Bateau up here, I would be standing on the shoulders of Oshi and Shiro. You're so evil. You're so evil. It means that I have to spend many hours in makeup, hitting the gym again and again and again and again because I can't level down. You always have to level up. But I make the second film, if the script was good and it was with Rupert and Scarlett, I would consider it.